Welcome back to the Tonight Show, starring Mizzle and Dub with the Mizzle and Dub band. Well, the one-man band that is a super dope beat maker. Well, as we said in the last, spring and the beginning of fall normally is the best time of the year. We have the craziness that is March Madness, and
Crazy.
there has to be no perfect brackets left, especially what happened here today. We will get into the tournament. We will get
And
to the
if you do say you have a perfect bracket, you're bullshitting.
Well,
because I know every damn well everybody picked the number one to win. I guarantee you.
Well, before the upsets happened, there was about 6 perfect brackets left.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it's down to 0. But we'll talk about the tournament eventually. We'll get into that. But on St. Patrick's Day, and for those that are Irish, happy St. Patrick's, belated happy St. Patrick's Day. But there was a press conference that took place in Henderson, Nevada, which was supposed to take place on the 16th. People are starting to think, oh no, is it Robert Saffold all over again? But it turned out to be not. It was just language in the contract. But yet, for a fan that did not want him and still probably does not want him,
no,
he has said it is what it is. But my co-host and brother is going to explain how one James Richard Garoppolo won him over in the press conference in Henderson on Friday.
All right. Well, first of all, that man came out looking like Rico Suave. He should have had the music playing behind him when he walked out on that.
No, you did not. Podium. No, you did not go with the Geraldo. No, you did not.
He should have had the music going, walking up on that podium. But hey, he was slick looking. He had the all black on with the Raider pendant. You know, had the whole hair going thing. But nah, Jimmy came up there and did his thing. And I know winning a press conference does not translate to what he has to do on the field. And we also have to help him out by getting that offensive line built. But other than that, the one thing that I would take away from his press conference that he will say, I won't be too long with it, I'll get right to it, is that he said he wants to come in there and earn everything. You know, as a quarterback, they say you're the leader of the team just by being the quarterback. Well, Jimmy said, nah, I ain't the leader yet. I want to come in there and earn the respect of his teammates and his peers. I like that. I can. You're playing music, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he should have been strolling up to the podium with that music going on there, ladies and gentlemen. If you can hear that, yeah, that's how clean he was looking. And if you don't believe me, just YouTube the Raiders press conference with Jimmy Garoppolo, all black. I don't even like black on black things, but Jimmy was over there looking pretty proper, you know. But to get back to it, but just by he saying that he doesn't want everything handed to him. You know, that's what they pretty much say in there, but you can pretty much tell when somebody's bullshit in the press conference. But Jimmy was genuine. He answered all the questions right. And the one thing that I was real also happy about is he said one of the first players to reach out to him was Devontae Adams. All right. We didn't trade Devontae Adams to come over here just to be, you know, the face and stuff like that. We came over here. He came over here to try to win. They need to do what it is to make him happy. So if Devontae Adams is on board, then fuck it. Let's ride with Jimmy Porno G. You know what I'm saying? I'm with it. Let's go. You know, but like I said, I am a fan of the organization. Now I have a few favorite players, but you know, I was a big Derek Carr fan. I wish the best for Derek Carr, but he's no longer a Raider. Facts. So I also can get how we're becoming the Patriots of Vegas. You know, it's a lot of Patriots being signed to this organization. Yeah, you know, whatever. I'm starting to understand it now. Maybe they're signing these players that they're familiar with. So with these players, these 12 draft picks that we're going to hit on. I mean, I know we're not going to hit on all 12. I just need maybe 4 hits. You know, so up the defense, yada yada yada. Teach some of these youngins the offense, because they say Josh McDaniels' offense is very, very difficult to grasp. And once you get it, you see what happened. Super Bowls in New England. So I know I was hard on him. I said I was moving on to 2024, but like I said, Jimmy threw that reel out there, and he got the talking, and he hooked me. And so maybe I'll just give them. It's like a bad relationship. You know, you need to get out of it, but you just can't because you love it so much, and they just torture your ass. But it's like, damn it. Yeah, that's the Raiders. But anyway, I'm gonna see what it is, but I still think that Jimmy gonna go down by week 5, man, because if they don't do nothing with that offensive line, he just ain't gonna produce. But he won me over in the presser, so we'll see. We'll see. He's a winner. That's all I can say. He's a winner. I mean, I don't. You know what we had a discussion. I don't care about the stats. I need production. He cost y'all a Super Bowl by not being on point. All he had to do is just drop that ball in there. And that's credit given to a Niner. Now back to our regular program. But look, he's here. So let's go. Let's go. Now they just got to make 2-8 happy. They make 2-8 happy, I believe. Oh, and can I say one last thing before we move on with the Raiders? Darren Waller got traded to the New York Giants. I was a little upset about that, but what reports came out is Darren Waller got discontent with the Raiders. Somewhere down the line, he was focusing on his wife instead of being at the facility, working out, rehabbing, getting himself together. He at the Las Vegas Aces game in Mark Davis's seat, watching his wife, not supporting his team. So there was saying, so Derek Carr had a press conference after that Colts game when he cried. Yeah, my quarterback cried. Well, no, he's not my quarterback no more. Not my quarterback no more. But he said in that press conference, he said certain players are not taking the necessary steps to get back on the field and practicing and rehabbing. And now it makes sense. He was talking about Darren Waller. So, you know my motto, bro. If you don't want to be here,
F out.
Don't let the door hit you, bro. Or it split you. I don't care. I need players that want to be here. I want this organization to be back to where it was when I wasn't even born, when they was just dominating. When you played the Raiders, you knew it was going to be 4 quarters of hell.
And physicality.
Damn right. So, all right, brother. I talked about my organization. Let's give the people what they really want. Nobody wants to hear me ramble about that organization.
Well, before one more thing about the Raiders before we get into the tournament. What was also said about former Steeler, now Raider linebacker Robert Spillane also gave a very fantastic press conference.
Yes, he did. I watched all the signings press conference. Yeah, and he gave a good one too.
Just wanted to pinpoint on that. But now, alas, the moment is at hand. And this is why I don't do brackets, because I know the first day my bracket would be done. But boy, this is one of the best time of the years for the sports book, because it has
this might be the most upsets that this tournament has had in many years. I can't tell you how many number ones have went down like this. I don't think we're gonna have well, no. Is Alabama still around?
Alabama won and Houston won. They're
only 2, right?
Only 2 number 1 seeds.
Kansas went down. Purdue went down.
But it all started with Furman upsetting Virginia in the first night. And then when you thought it couldn't get worse, the Princeton Tigers said, Furman, hold my beer, as they upset the number 2 seed Arizona Wildcats.
What a game. That was a good game.
That was a fantastic game.
You know what upsets me?
It was in Sacramento.
I could have been at one of these upsets.
Yeah.
And watched it live. One day, brother. One day.
Am adulting. But yes, the tournament is in full-fledged force. So going through what happened on Thursday when the tournament first started, West Virginia loses to Maryland 67-65. We talked about Furman already beating Virginia 68-67. Missouri beating Utah State 76-65. Kansas beat Howard 96-68. Alabama wins their game 96-75. San Diego State wins their game 63-57. Of course, we're talking about Princeton beating Arizona 59-55. Arkansas beats Illinois 73-63. Auburn beat Iowa 83-75. Fast forwarding into Friday, which Sparty beats USC by 10, 72-62. Xavier got a scare from
When
Kennesaw
I
State.
had text you about that game, they were getting like destroyed.
Yes. But they found a way.
Yes.
Baylor beat UC Santa Barbara 74-56. St. Mary's, the Gales beat VCU 63-51. Marquette wins their game 78-61. Pitt 11 beats a 6. They beat Iowa State 59-41. And a very good game between Creighton and NC State, but
yeah,
Creighton gets the win 72-63. UConn, you never sleep on the Huskies because they've been known to make long runs in this tournament. They beat Iona 87-63. And then the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson told the Boilermakers, hold it and enjoy it, and you will love every single minute of it.
Yes.
You Boilermakers 63-58.
Yes.
Fantastic game. UK beats Providence 61-53. Gonzaga beats Grand Canyon University 82-70. And this game I really paid attention to. Drake had a chance to upset Miami, but Miami eventually played defense and pulled away. And then I said what was going to be the game of the day lived up to it when Florida Atlantic beat Memphis by 1, which led Penny Hardaway to throw his water bottle in frustration as 9 beats 8. Kansas State beats Montana State 77-65. And ASU and TCU went to war, but it was the Horned Frogs that got the win by 2 points, 72-70. And then there was today. There was today.
Yes.
Well, first off, thank you, good old Rocky Top, Tennessee. They beat the Dukies 65-52, and that makes the Tar Heel and Mizzle very, very
I know
happy.
we ain't in the tournament, and y'all Dookie fans can talk all that mess all you want, but you lost.
Well, there's room on the couch for you to join. There's room on the couch. There is room on the couch. San Diego State beats Ferrum. San Diego State heads back to the Sweet 16. They beat Ferrum 75-52. And kudos to Eric Musselman and Woo Pig Suey.
Yes.
Which also happens to be the birthplace of my grandmother. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Oh, yes.
Denies Kansas a chance to repeat as national champion. 72-71.
Oh, yes.
Despite the fact that their top player with 25 points fouled out, but nonetheless, Arkansas found a way, and the Razorbacks are in the Sweet 16.
Wow.
And then the Princeton Tigers again told the Missouri Tigers, hold it one more time, as the Ivy Leaguers, the Princeton Tigers, in the Sweet 16.
You gotta love March Madness, man. This time of year when it comes to this basketball, man.
They beat Missouri 78-63. And in the first half, the Auburn Tigers were giving the Houston Cougars a run, but the Cougars pulled away in convincing fashion. They beat the Auburn Tigers 81-64. And a very contested game, two contested games. Penn State and Texas went back and forth, but Texas escapes. They win by 5, 71-66. UCLA, Northwestern, not Northwestern, wasn't it? Yeah, no, it was not. Yes, Northwestern gave UCLA everything it could handle, but the Bruins find a way and squeak by 5, 68-63, and Alabama beats Maryland 73-51, which leads us to the Sweet 16, which leads us to Sunday's matchups. So we have Xavier versus Pitt. Pitt's the number 3 as a number 11 seed. Um, and Xavier's a 3 seed. We'll see what happens there. Now, this one is very intriguing. Kentucky and Kansas State, the battle of the Wildcats in the Sweet 16.
Ooh,
That is taking place in Greensboro. That should be a fantastic game.
yes.
Marquette and Sparty.
No.
Marquette against Michigan State.
I'm going
Oh,
Tommy Izzo. You
oh
can't.
boy.
I'm going. I think Tommy Izzo might got this one.
Well, people always ask me. A gentleman asked me about USC and Sparty, and these were the exact words. I never go against Tom Izzo.
No.
It's like Mike Tomlin.
Yes.
Don't go against him.
Yes.
Another interesting matchup. St. Mary's and the Yukon Huskies, a 4 versus 5.
I'm going Gales, man. That's
Oh yeah,
home. That's
that's
home.
very nice. Yes,
That's home,
yes.
man. I'm going Gales.
Another 3-6 matchup. Creighton against Baylor.
Ooh.
Oh,
If I
there's
had
some
to,
match.
if you had to pull my arm, I would have to go with Creighton on that one. It's just something about that team, man. They've always been there. Ever since we was in high school, Creighton has always been somebody's thorn in the
Well,
conference, in the tournament. I
well,
mean,
well, well,
tournament.
well. Here's the thing. Tournaments for the mid majors. Normally, it's a mid major that makes a run, or it's normally a mid major you never heard of.
Yes,
I mean, like George Mason many moons ago when they made their miraculous run. Of course, Loyola Marymount of Chicago's and Sister Jean when they made their run a
yes,
couple
Sister
of years
Jean.
ago. And yes, Sister Jean is still kicking at 103 years old. God bless her. Um, now this might be a very intriguing. This might make the matchup of Sunday with the Fairline Dickinson Knights taking on the Florida Atlantic Owls.
Oh,
This, this should be fantastic.
oh,
And I did
oh,
not
they
know.
both just play good defense, and they can get to the and they move the ball.
Yes,
They and
yes.
they and they go on a rebound. And the rebound, you better start running with them because they go.
I did not know Florida Atlantic was 32-3 on the season.
Excuse me?
It didn't stutter. Florida Atlantic on this season is 32-3. 32-3. Yeah, exactly. 32-3.
Okay.
Another intriguing matchup in the Sweet 16. The Hoosiers of Indiana taking
Uh-oh.
on taking on the Miami Hurricanes. Another 4 versus 5 matchup. Um, I'm going with Mike Woodson coaching his alma mater. I got the horseshoe edging by the Iris.
Are you rocking with Damon Bruce, huh?
Yes, I am. I am rocking with the fighting Damon Bruces, the fighting Isaiah Thomases, the fighting Bobby Knights, whatever you want to call it. I got the Hoosiers being the Hurricanes. And to round out Sunday night, ECU takes on Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Gonzaga, man. That program is just they just know what to do. They're always around the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight, damn near Final Four. They're hard to put out. They're just so consistent. And when they lose players, they just bring up the next person in line, or they just get it. They recruit well. So I will be shocked if Gonzaga loses this game. That would be my pick.
It would be a highly contested upset. Um, it's a shame we did not. Well, I know we did a show where we picked our Final Fours. Probably, I guarantee you, maybe one would still be alive.
Yeah, because I probably would have rolled with Houston throughout. Houston probably would have been my main bracket if I was to did a bracket. Houston would have been someone I would have rocked with majority of the bracket. Hell, I probably would have been that one that probably would have picked Purdue. So then my bracket probably would have been broke right there. So
not to mention the Arkansas Razorbacks were down 12 to
yeah.
Kansas to come back to pull the upset. And kudos to former Warriors head coach Eric Musselman, who's done a fantastic job with that program over there with the Arkansas Razorbacks as they get to their First Sweet 16 in a long, long, long time. And the Sweet 16 for the 14th time. And the only lower seeded Razorback team to reach the semifinals was the 96 squad, of course, coached by the legendary Mr. Nolan Richardson. Of course, they have won a national title before when they upset the Dukies, which made the Tar Heel in him very, very, very happy. But these are a lot of very good, intriguing matchups here
Yeah.
on Sunday. I wonder how sports books brackets are just going off.
Yeah, let's get the numbers. Let's get the numbers.
If I can, I'm trying to find them. So right now in the Sweet 16, Alabama is playing San Diego State, which should be a fantastic matchup.
I think I'm gonna ride with the Aztecs on that one.
Tennessee or so. So Alabama and San Diego, they will take on the winner of Princeton. Will wait on the winner of Creighton and Baylor. Tennessee is waiting on the winner between Farley Dickinson and Florida Atlantic.
Mm.
And of course, Kansas and Kentucky will play the winner of Marquette and Michigan State. That's in the South bracket. In the Midwest bracket, Houston awaits the winner between Indiana and Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Bevo, the Longhorn himself, is waiting on the winner between
Oh.
Xavier and Pitt. And Arkansas will get the winner of UConn and St. Mary's. And UCLA will get the winner between TCU and Gonzaga. I would love to see UCLA and Gonzaga get on again in the Sweet 16 like they did many moons ago. Yes. Of course, the infamous Adam Morrison crying on the court in Oakland at Oracle when UCLA pulled the upset.
Yeah.
When Boone Howland's team went to the Final Four that year before they met Joakim Noah, Al Horford, and the Florida Gators, as the Gators went back to back in 2007 or 2006 and 2007. So that is all your brackets at the moment.
Just think that there's not a lot of powerhouses. I mean, there's still some powerhouses in the bracket, but there's a lot of mid.
Yes, a lot of mid majors.
Most
yes,
that are mid, if I'm not mistaken, and I like it. You know, it's just letting you know that we can bang. We just because we ain't the big prestige program, you know.
You don't have a lot of history, but we're making our own history.
Exactly. And all it takes is if you play good defense and you can score, that will win you it. That's it.
Like I said, it's about scoring points. You got to score points.
You also got to play defense, though.
That too. And now here's a question. As we now turn to the National Basketball Association, do the Warriors like playing on the road? Because apparently that answer is no, as they now have lost 11 consecutive games on the road.
There's one player that's playing his ass off, and if they can just get their shit together and play just as good as he's playing, and this is coming off an injury.
Injury, yes.
I think Curry has been averaging damn near over 30 points since he came off the injury.
Well, he scored 50. 5-0. Put up a 50 burger against the Clippers, and it still wasn't enough. But nonetheless,
really lose when you score 50 points. Curry scored 50. You ain't supposed to be losing no game like that. I mean, I'm really getting sick of the narrative that they know when to turn it on and this, that, and the third. Well, if they keep losing on the road like this, they are working their way out of the play-in tournament. That's where they sit right now.
Yeah. They are currently the 7th seed.
Yep.
Half game behind the Mavericks. Mavericks are 36 and 35.
Who holds a tiebreaker if that goes the way it goes?
Let's take a look at the season series between the Warriors and Mavericks.
But I hope the rest of their schedule is set up for them to be at home, because I don't think they got it to go through the play-in tournament and get all the way to the finals.
It's not looking right, and it's not looking and it's not looking good for sure. But I mean, it is They play them again. Actually, next Wednesday, the Warriors head to Big D to play the Mavericks. So that's a very, very huge important game with
On the
huge
road.
implications.
I have no confidence in him on the road. They ain't showed nothing to me to where they can. And they got blew out by Memphis, and they were in it for a minute. That's the thing.
Yeah, they were. They were.
And that
So
dude, and that dude Dylan Brooks is starting to get annoying.
okay, so right now, as it stands, this would be the third meeting between the Mavericks
Mm-hmm.
and the Warriors. And right now it's even at a game apiece.
Oh, oh, it's the rubber match.
It is the rubber match. So
Oh, uh, oh no.
it will be
Uh,
tough. It'll be tough, no question.
and,
But
and, and the Lakers are just rising. Go figure when
well,
you go figure with that. That's
well, I still think it possibly might be too late for the Lakers to pull off this rally. I mean, nothing's impossible, true enough, but I think this came a little bit too little too late for them. But
they're in the playing tournament as of now.
yes, they are. Yes, they are. Which would be a huge
Very.
uphill, very huge uphill climb for them to get in if they were to get in. Um, but there is a new number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference of the National Basketball Association as the Utah Mormons, aka the Utah Jazz, did the Philadelphia 76ers a solid as they beat the Boston Celtics tonight, which thus puts Philly ahead of Boston in the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference.
I have game. It's all right. It's all right. Just keep winning. And if somebody don't start talking about my man Embiid, you can't deny him the MVP this year. You cannot deny him the MVP this year. I'm sorry. You didn't duck him a few years ago. He should be a 2-time MVP, but you gave it to Jokic 2 years in a row, which I don't think he deserved that one year. That last year, Embiid was playing just like damn near how he's playing now. So I'm sorry. Just look at the stats. Look at Embiid's last 9 games and the game winners, the defense. Not only is he not doing it on the offensive side, but he's making the critical stops. He's averaging 4 blocks a game now. 4 or 5. He's getting 4 or 5, and they're nasty. So it's not just being a homer, but tell me who playing better than Embiid right now. You
To argue that
Jokic?
point,
You can say Jokic, but Jokic, they losing.
they are. Well, they just lost to the Knickerbockers today as Jalen Brunson returns to the tune of 24 points. As the Knicks officially have a winning season, they win their 42nd game of the year. And any other year,
Did I hit you with that text? Then
Yeah.
I said the Knicks got 42 wins.
Yeah,
and it's
that's
quiet.
amazing. It's amazing.
Where they stand
Any
right
other,
now? Where they stand in the seating? I'm sorry. Where they stand?
they are number I
5.
want to
They
see.
should at least be 4 or 5.
No, they're 6. Cleveland is still ahead of them.
Oh, there we go.
No. They are the 5 seed because
There we
they're
go. I thought so.
Cleveland's the 4 seed. Knicks are the 5 seed, if I'm not mistaken. Let's verify.
Bucks, Sixers, Boston. You said
Yes. No, they are. The Knicks are the 5 seed. They are ahead of Brooklyn.
wow, Brooklyn's still around?
Brooklyn is the 6th seed as we speak. Yeah.
Wow, Kevin Durant did enough for them to be the 6th seed? Okay.
Yeah, well, they are 39 and 31 as play is right now, but you got the Bucks 1, Sixers 2, Celtics 3, Cavaliers 4, Knicks 5, Brooklyn 6, and then the play-in is the Heat, Hawks, Raptors, and Bulls.
The Bulls?
The Bulls are the 10th seed.
Hey, you know what's crazy? None of the Ball brothers are playing for their respectable teams.
Not at the moment.
And then the one in Chicago, he damn near might be playing next season. They saying his career he might be done.
Yeah, which is a shame because
He was balling.
Lon, Lonzo was showing the talent, and
Hell,
it's just
LaMelo was too.
yeah. Well, I mean, Lonzo has always had a very good basketball IQ. It's just again, as we always preach on the show, your best ability is availability. Um, just like Mr. Brunson proved it, coming back to the tone of 24 points and helping the Knicks beat
Yeah.
Nuggets, which thus puts Philadelphia in the two slot or in the two slot in the Eastern Conference. Now, I wouldn't be remiss if we did not give any love to the team that plays up north called the Sacramento Kings because seemingly all they just continue to do is win.
Oh, they got a good chemistry together. Sabonis is playing lights out basketball right now. Now, if he was playing like this the whole season long, I will say he could be the MVP of the league. I mean, he's just doing the same thing that Jokic is doing. I mean, putting up points, getting rebounds, and distributing the ball.
They both could be, I guess, for lack of a better term, they both could be great. Just a great dynamic. I mean, we knew, like I said, we knew Mike Brown was going to improve this team tremendously. We knew this.
Thought that would have been like maybe like year 2, year 3.
Year 2. Next year, I would expect the
Kings
year
2 because it's a
complete for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
But for them to be where they're at, not only with a winning record, but they're the number 2 seed in the West.
And I asked you didn't get back to me on this one. Could they be in line for 50 wins?
Well, considering that tonight they just got win 43 and being the Wizards, yeah, it's pretty possible. I think they will get to 50 wins. Yes,
I will. You took the words right out of my damn mouth. That's what I was going to say. If I was a betting man, I'm betting the Kings winning 50 games. Wow. If that's not Coach of the Year, that's
Coach of the Year.
That's proven.
Coach of the Year, Executive of the Year.
Where were they in the standings last year? I mean, they didn't even make the play-in tournament, right? They finished with damn near dead last, right?
No, they definitely were in the lottery. That's for sure.
So, talk about a great turnaround. That's what you want from your coach. Coach of the Year. So
it did, and right now Sabonis is becoming a walking triple double. But like I said, Vivek Randande never lacked his desire and his want to win. Never lacked that. Never lacked his desire to win at all. Yeah. It's just bringing in Joe Dumars to try and be a consultant definitely helped the foundation.
Yes, it did.
And then when Monty McNair has done as the GM, which I said he should be executive of the year alongside.
Yeah, I agree. It's time to pass the torch from the greatest team in the Bay. So yeah, we can up north can have it for right now. They earned it.
It's just a fantastic thing to see.
Yeah.
Like I said,
and good for Mike Brown though.
I agree. I
can't say nothing but great things about Mike Brown. You know, he's a tremendous coach.
Very tremendous coach.
And I also say to you, if the way the things are going, and if Ja Morant don't come back and stuff like that, I wouldn't be shocked if the Kings make it to the Western Conference Finals.
Neither would I.
I wouldn't be shocked. Because you know why? Because you know why? Mike Brown has taken a team to the finals. So he knows what's needed to be done.
Correct. Absolutely.
If you don't know the team that Mike Brown took, it was LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
The 06-07 Cavaliers that absolutely had no business whatsoever in the finals.
Oh, but they ran up against that the fundamental.
Yeah. Ran into the San Antonio Fundamentals, the best ran organization in professional sports, one of the best ran organizations.
I'm going to say this. How LeBron ran up on the Spurs, because I don't give a damn who the Spurs was playing that year. It couldn't even been my Sixers. They were winning the championship. The same way I feel about if AI played anybody else in the finals that year, he wins the finals. But he ran up against a powerhouse in Kobe and Shaq. and whoever Kobe and Shaq were playing in that finals, they were gonna win.
Oh yeah,
It
in
it it
2000,
it
in
wasn't.
2001 against Philly again. And I mean that Sixer team had no Michigan there, but that team was all out Allen Iverson that carried them to the finals. And oddly enough, the only loss the Lakers had in that magical run was the loss to the
Step over.
Lakers in Game 1
Step over.
of that series.
And you know what? I don't care. They got one. Hey, as a Philly fan, I was happy to see my guy. You play because Allen Iverson has the he loved basketball, clearly.
Correct. It saved it,
But
as you said. Him and John Thompson saved his life.
facts. So just to see my favorite college basketball player, because I watched him at Georgetown,
Right.
come to my favorite basketball team.
Ask UConn about him driving the lane and throwing it down. Ask the Huskies.
With I know ESPN.
Oh
Was that
boy.
the Big East tournament, right?
No, it was actually a regular season game.
Oh, okay. He went to the rack and dude keep just mugged Iverson, just
Like Shaq said to Kareem when he scored 61 against the Clippers, "Look at me, Kareem. Look at me." Shaq really is the gift that keeps on giving. Just saying.
Oh, especially if you watch him on TNT.
Yes.
Him and Kenny are great. Especially around Christmas time, because every time there's a tree around, Shaq is going in the tree.
Yes. Full steam ahead, sticking his big size 23, 24 shoe out of the tree.
So I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
I want you to give me the state of the Golden State Warriors, man. Just your take. Do they have? I know they have the championship pedigree. I mean, we've been spoiled with them. We already know that it's the switch that they turn on.
And I can't stand that with any team. Can't stand it.
I don't like with the Warriors, and if my Sixers were doing it, don't like with them either. So the state right now with our Golden State Warriors.
They need to find their identity on defense on the road, and they need to find it quick. Like I said, well, first off, the whole Andrew Wiggins situation is just horrible from what we found out what the situation is, which is just,
the man needs time. I understand it. The man found out the baby he raising ain't his.
That's just,
how do you go play basketball when you thinking that this is 100% yours? I get it. And leave him the fuck alone.
I agree.
Don't bother that man. You got certain people in the media and other fans. Oh, he found out that he did that, blah, blah. Okay.
What more can you say? But back to the State of the Union address. The moniker in Philly for the long time was trust the process.
This is true.
I know Steve Kerr and Bob Myers know what they're doing.
We trust them.
It's just a matter of, are you trying to get rid of expiring contracts to try and sign somebody else? There has to be a foundation somewhere. Now, do I still think they can make it into the playoffs? Absolutely. Do I think they can make a long run? Absolutely. Because
if the games are at home, though, right?
Well, yeah, that too, because even though their streak for winning at least one road game in the series is on the line as well, but for lack of a better term, I said, they just need to find their way again, and then have just play your game, play to the capabilities of your abilities. But it just seems like if Steph goes off, then all of a sudden everybody else just can't hit the side of a barn.
Yeah, he can't. You can't. I agree. He can't score 50 points, and you're
A
losing.
50 burger.
Yeah, yeah, you got to support Steph on that. I agree, and I'll say this: it's time. I know you told me this, but and he's gonna do it. But yeah, it's time for Iguodala to retire. This is it. He's holding the
Yeah,
roster
it
spot.
is.
He's holding the roster
It,
spot.
I agree. I definitely agree. It definitely needs to happen. But he likes being around, the
Well,
team.
he can take a. They already told him that there's a coach's position for him if he wants it.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he wants to stay with the organization, they're here. There it is for you.
I'm pretty sure he draws the clipboard when they're in the huddle. I'm sure of that.
Well, hell,
I'm quite certain of that.
well, he can do what Kerr has done. When the shit ain't going right, he can break the clipboard.
Break it.
Right. All right. So here's as we probably we're gonna wrap it up here pretty shortly. But me and my brother got to talk about the sweet sport that we also like, and that's baseball. And I just want to say, damn it, never count out the U.S. of motherfucking A. Oh, baby.
Well, it did
The
not look.
grand salami?
It did not look good for Team USA in the
It did
quarterfinals of the
not.
World Baseball Classic, as they scored 3 in the first, had 3-2 lead. Then Venezuela erupts for 4 in the fifth to extend their lead, or to tie the game anyway. Then they extend their lead with 1 in the seventh. Then they got no more after that. The United States were trailing 7-5 going in to the eighth inning, where the newest acquisition of the Philadelphia Phillies, Trey Turner, steps in there, showing no fear, parks one into the left field bullpen, and thus the Raiders, not the Raiders, I'm sorry,
Oh.
losing my mind here.
Oh.
The Raiders, the team of the United States of America comes back to beat Venezuela, 9-7 in the quarterfinals, and now the USA will face Cuba later on today in Miami. And the shocker of all shockers yesterday. Now, normally, if you follow these two countries, you know for a fact when it comes to boxing, you can never go wrong with Mexico versus Puerto Rico. The wars speak.
100%. The leather will be thrown.
The wars speak for itself.
Yeah, leather always be thrown.
Anyhow, they were trailing. Mexico spotted Puerto Rico a 4-0 lead. And then all of a sudden, Viva Mexico.
Oh.
My other side decided to say,
go ahead and do it. Let them know.
Decided to say, hold my sombrero, and thus led to the comeback and the spirit of the mariachi came through, tequila and all, as Mexico came back with 3 in the seventh to eliminate Puerto Rico 5-4. So coming into the quarterfinals, into the semifinals tomorrow, you got the United States going against Cuba, and you have waiting
Mexico.
the team that is Japan, which, of course, if you know anything about Asian players, Shohei Ohtani likes to say sayonara, but you got a team in Japan.
Yes.
Especially with Ohtani.
Yes.
They just play fundamentally sound defense. They don't make mistakes on the field. They don't miss balls and stuff like that. So it's a miracle that
they play good baseball all around though. Just to think about,
yes, they do.
Look at the countries. Look at the countries that are represented in the Final Four. Puerto Rico has always been a staple of MLB baseball. I ain't got it. Well, I can list a name of players that come from Puerto Rico that has blessed this great sport.
I mean, what more can you say? I mean, it's facts.
And then you break down the other two teams with You said Japan and Mexico.
Japan and Mexico will be playing each other, and the winner will
You
play
know
the
what I'm
one
saying?
between
Well,
Cuba.
Japan has, you know what I'm saying, Godzilla. Do I got anything else?
Matsui.
You know what I'm saying? The greatest baseball player to play in Seattle.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Okay. You know, we
One of the best arms you will ever see.
ever seen.
Ask Terrence Long about Ichiro Suzuki getting gunned from almost the right field corner and getting gunned at third base.
And you
Need
know,
I say more?
No disrespect, but bless us with a couple of Mexico players, brother.
Well, Alex Verdugo, former Dodger, former Red Sox, has been spectacular. Joey Manassas torched the U.S. when they played, as he hit 2 home runs for them, which actually is credit to former Major Leaguer Benji Gill. Gets all the credit because he has managed Mexico very, 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 very well.
Yes.
Here's my question with Team Japan, with the whole Otani drama.
Yes.
Is Shohei Otani getting traded this year, do you think?
Ooh. You know, it's been a hot topic. It has been.
It has.
And
that it has.
What's the saying? If there's smoke, there's
fire.
But my question is, what's the asking price? That's the thing.
That's a very good question.
Does Farhan have the testicular fortitude to go get him? So that's how I feel about the situation. And I tell you what, you want to pitch, fine. But I tell you what, the day you want to hit, you only gonna be a DH. You ain't taking no fielding. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't doing none of that. I'm not arguing this young man threw in the WBC a pitch over 100 miles an hour. And not only can he do that, he will step up to the plate and he will take your 100-mile-an-hour fastball and he will put that shit in the upper deck.
Or still try to find the ball that Barry Bonds hit in 2002 in Anaheim.
Bro, you're not gonna find it, bro, because you know
they
why?
They still haven't found it.
Rodriguez that ball. That's why they ain't gonna find it. That's why. Okay. Me and you were watching it we were on the phone.
Yes.
When you get that ball, we were like,
oh my. Hi. It disappeared into the night.
The moment it left. Oh yeah, they ain't find that ball. It left the stadium. That's how hard Barry Lamar Bonds hit that ball. And I'm so upset that I know he's not going to get into the Hall of Fame, and that's utter bullshit. And that's the homer, but he was a Pirate before he was a Giant. I knew about Barry Bonds was a great hitter before he even donned the Giants uniform. He was killing Pittsburgh.
He was a 2-time MVP as a Pirate before he became
MVPs with the Giants. Exactly. Thank you. And the media hate him. So think about that. He was a 2-time MVP with the Pirates, and the media hated him in Pittsburgh. But I'm upset that he didn't get a ring, because if you're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame, at least he would have had a World Series ring. We come on. All right, I'll say this. Yeah, he took steroids, but he didn't get convicted of it. They couldn't find him guilty. He found a good man that didn't say nothing.
When he was tested, and I think testing began back in 2004, if I'm not mistaken. But every time he was tested, he came out negative. Every time somebody else was, wasn't, and Innocence was able to maintain and play his game.
You're accusing him on assumption, but you ain't never found him guilty of
never found him guilty.
Nothing. But your hate for him is so bad that you will not put this man in the Hall of Fame. He's the goddamn king of the home run of the damn MLB. How you don't put that in the Hall of Fame? I don't care if he was wearing a damn Diamondback uniform. You put the king in the Hall of Fame. Every home run king before him is in the Hall of Fame. Am I right?
Correct.
I'll rest my case. I ain't got to say nothing else. Yes, I'm glad that Barry Bonds wore a Giants uniform because I'm a Giants fan. But I was a Barry Bonds fan when he was wearing the pinstripes in Pittsburgh.
That was as big as my pinky. Was as big as
we all know he was skinny. Yeah, we know. We knew why he started to take that stuff because he saw what Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa was doing. They were starting to get all the media and the recognition and the looking at. And Barry Bonds was like, wait a minute, I'm a 2-time MVP.
At that time, he was 3-time.
Oh, yeah, thank you. He didn't need it, ladies and gentlemen. He didn't need none of that. Barry Bonds had the best eyes in baseball. I'm sorry. I didn't see that man turn on so many pitches, curveballs, knuckleballs, fastballs, breaking balls. Whatever you threw out there, he adjusted to what he made. He made you throw to him. You wasn't throwing to Barry Bonds. He made you pay to him. And you can say the same thing about Ken Griffey Jr. One of the prettiest swings in baseball. The logo is on his shoe.
I mean, if he could just not get hurt, just
yeah.
When and I understand he wanted to go back home to Cincinnati. I get it. I don't doubt that one bit. But for that to just not work the way he wanted to work, just always being injury prone, is just like you just want to get one for Griffey.
That's another player. That's another player in the league that should have a ring because he put his soul in baseball.
But alas, he is enjoying himself in the batting cage, taking batting practice, which he could probably crank out 10 home runs right now if he wanted.
With the way the league is going right now, he can just DH. What's the point of getting on the field? Hell, Barry Bonds right now could probably give you 25. Just off his eyes alone. I mean, I know he have to because he's back to this now. I mean
he is back to that. You're right.
But I guarantee you can go up there and still blast a few out the park.
Oh yeah.
This is a DH.
That's with him knowing the strike zone better than the umpires know the strike zone.
Well, pretty soon we're gonna have robots.
Yeah, that'll be the day.
I might stop watching baseball when that happens.
Because I guarantee you,
I might be done with baseball when that happens because they're already working on it. They're using it in the minor leagues, I believe.
Well, the pitch clock, yes, the pitch clock was an issue in the minor leagues, and the games were a little bit faster. It's just you gotta have a winner because, as you said, fans will just leave and go hang out and do something else while those that are want to try to help it eat. So there you go. We thank you for watching this Tonight Show late night version of the Mizzle An Dub Show. As we talked about the tournament, talked about Jimmy G becoming a Raider, Raiders becoming young, some contracts were not given to because they wanted their own people, EIO. But again, we thank you for watching this edition, as this segment is brought to you by Buddy the dog, who finally gets some camera time. And of course, now he doesn't want to look into the camera. Buddy, what's wrong with you? Because hello, Buddy. Say hello to the masses on the Mizzle An Dub Show. But nonetheless, we thank our subscribers and we thank our new viewers for watching. And if you're a new subscriber, we thank you and welcome you to the Mizzle An Dub Show.
Yes.
Where it is a full-fledged show, full-fledged in the world of sports. We will definitely bring some more thoughts on the tournament as we are getting that much closer to the NFL draft.
Oh, yes.
with the NBA draft. But again, not NBA, NFL. But again, if you have any thoughts, have any comments, have any concerns, or a certain subject you want to talk about, don't be afraid to hit the comments box
Or
on the Mizzle An Dub Show,
if you
or
want
go
to
ahead.
join the show, we have no problem with having guests. It's just that we will find time. We'll like to work on your schedule. I mean, hell, if you want to talk boxing, if you want to talk golf, NASCAR, man, Kentucky Derby when it come around, we will hockey, volleyball. Man, me and my brother are out there with the sports.
But of course, beach volleyball with women is at its peak when it's like 12 noon for those that are keeping score.
Yes. I mean, I know my brother don't dabble into soccer as much as I do, but we can even talk soccer. I does that. You know, this is a platform for everybody to come on there and express what they want to talk about. And before we leave, I would say to one person that watched the show, he needs to come on here and talk about his damn Jets.
Of course, we're talking about the one, the only Mr. McDonald, who is in his full green assessment with gangrene sweatpants, and of course his Jets jersey, which I want to say it sounded like he wanted to get a Sauce Gardner jersey. I'm pretty sure he still stands by that.
That's the perfect person to get.
Yeah. But again, please leave your comments and feel free to hit us up when you guys get a second. We thank you for watching the Tonight Show version of the Mizzle An Dub Show. He is Mizzle, I am Dub, and as always, it is 5 o'clock.
Some damn where. Yes.
Thank you again for tuning in, folks.